Passive income is an excellent approach to supplement your income while you focus on other critical tasks. Passive income can be generated while you're at work, while you're on vacation, or it can simply be used to fund your retirement lifestyle. Income earned when you're not actively working for it can help you pay your bills so that you can retire early. Some people believe that passive income only comes from simple, common, and traditional sources. But there are many creative ways to make some extra money that you may not have considered. These are some ways you can easily generate at least $500 per month passively. Welcome to Cashflow Canvas, where we teach people about passive income, personal finance, and investing money. If you want to improve your financial future, subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Keep in mind that passive income does not imply that no effort is required to begin earning. Everything requires some initial work or money to get started. The good news is that this typically entails more managerial tasks, as opposed to active work, rather than thinking of passive income as money coming in for doing absolutely nothing. Consider it money being made with very little effort so that the majority of your time can be spent doing something else with the cost of doing nothing. For a single individual, a private home can be too expensive, and simply a waste of money when they can live with a flatmate. If you have an additional bedroom in your house or flat, this can be an easy way to generate money for doing close to nothing. Because housing is the single highest expense for the average household, this is a fantastic strategy to reduce that expense. While renting out one bedroom could bring in $500 to $1,000 per month, while living with a friend, family member, or even a stranger isn't for everyone, it does have some advantages. Some people even take this type of house hacking to the next level by purchasing a huge property with multiple bedrooms as additional security. Renting out all the bedrooms can significantly outweigh the cost of owning and maintaining a home. Many people live in an apartment, condo, or house with restricted parking and require a place to keep a vehicle. If you had extra space at your home, you could rent it out to those who need it for a significant amount of money. Depending on where you live, you could charge $50 to $200 or even more per month for a single parking space. You can rent out a storage shed, garage space, or unfinished basement to someone in need of extra storage. There is an app similar to Airbnb that will allow you to rent these types of properties with minimal effort. You may also go the more traditional method of renting by word of mouth or other forms of advertisement. This is a wonderful way to earn money from home with minimal effort and without having to live with a housemate who refuses to wash their dirty dishes. Investing in the stock market is likely the most prominent approach that comes to mind when people think about passive income for a variety of reasons, including the fact that it is time-consuming. It takes little to no work and no expertise to set up and will continue to reward you with almost minimal management for a very long time. The S&P 500 averages a 10% return every year. By putting $60,000 in an S&P 500 ETF such as Vanguard's VU, you may make $500 per year. On average, this dollar return will increase each year as your investment capital grows. Furthermore, unlike other passive income concepts, this allows you to collect compound interest on your stock investments each year, generating exponentially bigger returns. The disadvantage is that not everyone has $60,000 to begin with, and it can take a long time to get there. It takes some time to build a beginner's portfolio to the size that will generate $500 or more per month on average. The previous example of investing in an S&P 500 ETF is a great way to generate passive income, but some people prefer to separate capital gains and consider only dividends as passive income. They will disregard rising stock prices and only consider dividends received as passive income. The S&P 500 has an average return, including dividends, of about 10%, with the dividend portion accounting for about 1.5% of that total. In order to generate $500 per month in dividends alone with an S&P 500, you'd need a whopping $400,000 invested in a high dividend fund. You could reasonably assume a 4% dividend yield, meaning you'd need $150,000 invested to receive $500 per month in income. Additionally, the principal of your investment will likely rise over time like the S&P 500 fund, just at a slower rate. Investing in a rental property has the potential to provide huge returns, primarily because returns come in several forms and aren't limited to one. Cash flow is received when the rent exceeds the cost of owning the property. For example, if the owner's expenses are $2,000 per month, and the rent received is $2,500, the owner receives cash flow, a total of $2,500. Your monthly financial flow is $500. If you have a mortgage on the home, the sum is paid down each month. For example, a $300,000 loan for 30 years will be paid down an average of $833 per month, with less at the beginning and more at the end. A $400,000 property could reasonably be expected to appreciate 3% or $12,000 per year. Being a landlord does require some work, even if you plan on hiring a manager to handle the property, but it still requires much less effort than a typical job. Do you know someone who wants to start a new business but lacks the funds to get started? Perhaps you have a friend or family member who has an excellent opportunity but needs some capital to get it off the ground. You could act as a private lender and invest in their idea, while charging them a 10% or 15% interest rate. A house flipper would approach a private money lender who is looking for a return on their money, and the lender would finance the flip in exchange for interest payments. If you're concerned about the project's success, it's common practice for the lender to have the right to the property in exchange for interest payments. In the case that the loan cannot be returned, similar to how a bank can foreclose on a property, there are websites such as Prosper and Upstart that allow individuals to quickly lend money. You may have seen people driving around town in cars covered in a company's advertisement. The entire vehicle is most likely wrapped in colorful emblems, as well as slogans. While such folks may appear to be employees of that company, they may simply be driving their personal automobile on their way to work, school, or running errands. Some companies may pay a monthly fee to persons who are prepared to utilize their own car as a rolling billboard. How much money you make depends on factors such as how much you drive and where you live. But this is a viable option for generating income instead of spending a lot of money commuting to work. You could actually be getting paid for this. Not all of these methods will be preferable for everyone. As with almost all passive income sources, they do necessitate some level of driving. It's unrealistic to expect to earn passive income by doing nothing. And chances are there's no method that's extremely desirable, which means there's no scenario in which no money or time is required and money will just be deposited into your account like magic. There's no realistic scenario in which you'll deposit $5,000 or $10,000 or even $50,000 and generate enough income to retire. But these are some proven methods that an average person may take if they are ready to put up a little effort and ditch the "this wouldn't work for me" mentality.